Welcome to Life, Money, and Community, where real conversations meet real life. I'm Tiffany Neary, and this podcast is all about the conversations we're already having about money, lifestyle, aging, and the people who matter most. You'll hear from community voices, local experts, and real stories that help you think differently, ask better questions, and feel more confident about the decisions you're making today and down the road. This isn't about pressure or pitches. It's about clarity, connection, and community. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Welcome to Life, Money, and Community. Right now, I have Laura and Lenae with me, and they're new friends of mine, but it's already a match. So I wanted to bring them on because they have a couple things about the community that they're doing and an event coming up. So we're going to go in and we're going to talk about everything they're doing for our community and who they are and what they do. Laura?
Well, hi, I'm Laura. I'm a senior real estate specialist and a senior home coach. So pretty much what I do is I specialize in helping anyone that is 55 and older with any transitions that come later in life, whether it's downsizing to something smaller, moving to a senior living community, or whether you want to stay in your home, but you got to find those safe things so that you can stay in there and not have any problems. So that's kind of like the basics of what my specialty is, just to kind of give you a plan, because when things happen, sometimes unexpectedly, you don't know what to do. So I have resources that help you find that next step if it is a senior living community. And if you plan to stay in your home, then I can help you find those resources. But that's the main thing, is having a plan so that when it does happen, it is very confusing and people don't know what to do. So that's where my specialty comes in.
Thank you, Laura. Lenae, you're up.
Hi, everyone. Well, thank you so much, Tiffany, for having both of us. I'm really excited to be a part of this trio. It is a great collaboration that we've been able to come together and do. My name is Lenae, and I am a life and retirement specialist. I'm a marketing director with Difference Financial, and I specialize in people. In order for me to be able to help our clients mutually, Laura's and my clients, I first need to understand who they are, what their goals are, what they're preparing for, and how to get them one step closer to security, to confidently being able to, in this case, being able to retire. So this is something that I'm really passionate about. Had someone educated me when I was younger, in my 20s, I would have taken saving a lot more seriously. I would have been maxing out my 401k, having my employer, contribute their match as well too. And it's something that we don't talk about as often. It's not, we talk about going to, Yard House every other weekend, but it's not something that we think, hey, if we can, maybe take one less trip out, we can actually be contributing and planning ahead for our future.
Yes, and I wanted to add that, we're making a good trio because, of course, I do reverse mortgages, which is sometimes misunderstood, but we can make an understanding with all three of us together. It's a good match because you get education based upon different areas of what you need, specifically adult children. I mean, if you might be dealing with your parents that are maybe in their 80s, you need to chit chat with all of us as a plan. So we're going to dive in a little bit and talk about, Laura mentioned that she is an SRES. So this is a designation from NAR, National Association of Realtors, and it means that she's done her homework with what it takes to be someone that is a specialist to our seniors. So there is a lot involved. It's not just any real estate agent can come in and do the best for you. If you are a senior and you want to stay in your home, then maybe I can help you. Lenae can help you. We can get a plan for doing that, even if you might not think it's possible because you might need some care, or you might want to move to San Diego with your family. And how do you do that? San Diego's pretty pricey. We go into all of that. We have plans for you. All you have to do is raise your hand. I say it in all my videos. Just raise your hand and ask some questions. You are not obligated to do anything except ask questions, because that will give you the knowledge you need to make a good decision. Also, if it's not something for you, you might be able to help another person. So when you come across someone that can help someone else, that is where most of my referrals come from. It's not the actual person I'm talking to that I'm helping. It's a friend of a friend.
Yes.
So don't discount something just because you may not need it, but others may need your help and your knowledge about noticing what's going on in their life. So when you're in SRES, you're taught to listen so that you can see what's going on in their world and help them, even if they're not asking for help. It's a fine line, but we are all educated on how to do that. So
Yes.
we're going to dive in and get a little bit more background. I know you're also a nurse, Laura.
Yes.
So this is where your empathy comes from.
Yes. When I was young, going to high school, I thought, I'm going to go into business and work in LA. And I thought that was my plan. And then God had another plan for me, and I had my son. So after I had him, I was watching an episode of Mr. Belvedere. No joke. It was Mr. Belvedere. And the kid, I think his name was Kevin, he was a candy striper. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I want to be a nurse. And I was 18. My son was young, and I just started nursing school. And I was a nurse for 23 years total. But I feel like I've always been a good advocate for each of my patients at that time, because I worked in medical surgical, I did maternity, and also did labor and delivery for 17 years.
Oof.
So
Yeah.
it was always, like being
Your
an
patients
advocate.
need you. Yes.
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 And then even in my own family, because I have a disabled daughter, that when she was born, I knew something was wrong. At that time, we didn't know that she had a genetic disorder. And the pediatric cardiologist is like, well, I'm the best, and there's nothing wrong with her. Here's medication. And I'm like, I know my daughter, and there's something more wrong with her. So,
and you're a trained nurse.
Yeah, and I was a nurse too. So I'm like, do you not know that I know these things? So I pursued it, and finally they got me a referral to Children's Hospital. And sure enough, she had a heart valve that normally closes after you take your first breath, and it didn't close. So they had to do surgery on her, and they said, well, if she was born like in a third world country, she would have died. But so I've always had that advocate inside me for people that don't know, and things I've heard over the years. And I'm like, I wish I could have been there to help. So that's kind of where my empathy came from in helping others, because it's a true helping. And with the older community, it's not just selling a home. They're moving out of home they've been in for 30, 40 years. There's memories, and it's not very easy.
And stuff. Everybody's got stuff.
Oh yeah.
I talk to my parents about their stuff all the time.
I've been through that too. So that's kind of was a nurse for a while, and then I found myself a single parent with 4 kids, and I needed extra money. And my boyfriend at the time suggested I get my real estate license too, because he did loans, and he's like, "Why don't you get your license, do the real estate part?" So I'm like, "Okay, sounds good. I'm a good test taker."
Yeah,
and I can do it.
Built-in business for him.
Built-in business, yeah. So, and that's why I had the passion, to always help people. So I feel like I'm different from a lot of other realtors, because I'm not just there to, sign a contract, see you later. You can ask any one of the people that I've helped. I keep in touch with them to this day. I just sent them all, happy Easter wishes. So I'm that type of realtor where I like to build relationships. And I've seen the value that Lenae can bring, because when I had to resign from being a nurse, I didn't know I had the option to roll over my 401k.
Yes.
And that was a disaster. So I'm really grateful that I met her. And my dad was able to retire early because he did a reverse mortgage. So it's like,
this is why we all go together.
Yes, because it's not always about selling a home. It's about, okay, if you want to stay in your home, what are some ways? So I'm really happy that we were able to get together.
Yes. So again, something for everybody. But if you're having questions about anything real estate related, please contact one of us, and we will be able to discuss your plans with you. And maybe your plans aren't what you may think. Maybe if we introduce something else, then something better may come along. Down to Lenae. Tell us a little bit.
A little bit about me. I actually started in finance when I was 18. amazing opportunity came across, and I thought, okay, I can either go to a junior college and spend several $1,000s and several years trying to decide what I wanted to do, or I could apply for the bank. So I started with Washington Mutual in 2005 as a teller, and I had an ability to connect and build rapport with people. I viewed every customer that came into our bank as just an opportunity to share hello, ask how they've been, ask them about their family, ask them how their day was, if they were able to go golfing with their pals. And it really was something that naturally evolved. My branch manager saw that I really was really good with customers, and I was able to help with a lot of their growth and deposit campaigns. I mean, this was back in 2006, 2007, 2008 when the financial crisis took place and banks were scrambling for deposit growth. So I was with Washington Mutual, that then got acquired by Chase during that crisis. So I was able to actually just have personal conversations with clients and asking them, do you know if your money's safe? Are you federally insured to the limits? And how can we help you, make sure that you are taken care of? Management saw that I had, again, a really good ability to talk to people on a personal level and make sure that they were cared for specifically. So, I mean, it went through the process of training and, lending, business development, really every avenue of taking care of a client, from, starting a checking account to helping them apply for business lending and so on and so forth. But I did want more for myself. I did see people coming in, through the bank with their snowboarding gear or heading, with their hats and going on vacation. And I thought, like, why am I stuck behind a desk when I can be living these lives that my customers were living? And I thought, there has to be something else outside of the branch, outside of retail, that I can get involved in. So in 2021, I decided to become a California licensed insurance producer. I did start my own agency, Difference with Lenae, and I am a marketing director for Difference Financial and Insurance Services, which makes me a non-captive agent, which in plain English means that I am able to represent a variety of different insurance carriers to meet the needs of my clients specifically. And needs are ever changing and ever growing, but it all goes back to my initial desire to build relationships. If I don't take the time to know who you are, what you want, what your goals are, whether it's purchasing a second home, purchasing your first home, saving for retirement, helping your children start their college savings plans, helping, this next generation become $1 million babies, not from trust fund families, but there's options for building wealth. And I just wanted to reach and educate as many people as possible. When I met Laura, we connected over her retirement, over her becoming, over her leaving nursing, having a 401k to roll over, and no one educated her. No one told her.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never knew I had that option.
Yeah. And honestly, this is a conversation that a lot more people should be having. And I'm going to be having this with my kids as well, because they all have 401ks. They all work for the airlines. They have 401ks. They have matches. But do they take the time to actually call the person managing this for them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think majority of our 401k holders know that they can pick up the phone and have a talk with the person managing their money, and maybe tweak on it a little bit based upon your age, your goals. Maybe you have an idea of where you would like to put your money. Maybe you've been doing your own investigation. Call them. Call your 401k people. Ask the questions.
Yes.
And so back to Lenae, what type of person should call you?
Really, any type of person. If you're starting a job, if you're leaving a job, if you already have money set aside in savings and you're wanting to maximize your retirement, because retirement looks different for everybody. And really, the answer that we're questioning, one of the biggest questions we're answering is, will my money last?
Yes.
Will what I have saved last me into my golden years? And not only will it last, but what kind of lifestyle will I be living? Because when that paycheck stops from your employer, what kind of income will you be receiving monthly to pay your mortgage, to plan your family vacations, to buy presents for all the grandbabies when it comes to the holiday season? And knowing what that picture will look like, what lifestyle you'll be able to maintain, and if you're going to be happy. Because, you work your whole life, deciding to, if you're contributing to your 401k, you're working your whole life, being the good steward, deciding to take less on your paycheck, putting into your retirement. So what is that picture going to actually look like when it comes to worked my last day? This is what my monthly income looks like, and will it last until I'm ready to say goodbye to the earth. You know what I mean? Because that's really what the
That's
goal
it.
is.
We talk about that in the reverse rule too.
Yeah.
And we also talk about having the reverse mortgage as a retirement tool. A lot of people think it's need based. That's one avenue, but it's also a financial tool. It's a strategy to make your money that you've invested last longer.
Yes.
So if you think reverses are just for need based people, not true. It's for strategic planning.
Yes.
So raise your hand, and Lenae and I could talk to you together and figure all of that out for you so you don't run out of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then, of course, if you just are living in a 2-story house and you've never seen upstairs for 3 years, Laura's going to sell you a single story.
Downsize, organize, condense.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. Again, I go back to adult children because a lot of times we're not listening to our parents, and they may be saying something that you're not hearing. Maybe struggling, maybe wanting to move, maybe the house just doesn't work for them anymore, but they love it. It's the place they've lived for 30 years, and this is a very difficult conversation.
Yes.
It's easier if you bring in a third party.
Mm-hmm.
It is easier if you bring in a third party.
Oh, yes.
So talk to people, investigate on the internet, learn about downsizing, learn about aging parents. So that's very important these days. And a lot of our seniors don't like to talk about finances.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting better, but little by little, start having a little bit of a conversation like, do they have you as a beneficiary? If you're an adult child, we need to make sure we have a trust, a will, beneficiaries, all kinds of things that make their savings safe.
Mm-hmm.
So Lenae can help you with all of that
Mm-hmm.
and guide you in the right direction, because we don't want probate. Probate is icky.
That's very tough.
Yes,
With
it's
the clients I've
expensive,
had to
it's
go through
long, it breaks the family apart.
Yeah.
And it's let's get a trust, everybody. Let's just everybody get a trust.
Definitely.
And they're not as expensive as you may think.
Mm-hmm.
They're very reasonable for what they give you and the peace of mind they will give your family members.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to touch on something and I cannot remember, but do you have some things that you want to discuss? Oh, we have an event coming up.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about their 55 plus event coming up in Norco, California. And tell us a little bit about it, because I'm excited. I'm going.
Yay.
So kind of like what I want to do, it's not all just about selling. It's about educating, because like I really believe, like what she was just mentioning about a trust. Like I got a trust back in 2005. So I knew with my kids, I needed to have a plan and what I wanted with them. Mm-hmm. So I now have peace of mind.
Yes.
That, and I'm married now, so that now we've got more kids coming all on it. So we have to redo our trust.
Yes, you do.
At this point. But I really want to educate, because people don't know. Like someone I'm working with right now, they found me after they placed their parents. Both of them had to go into assisted living at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And they don't know, once I sell their house, are they going to have enough money for both of them to be in assisted living? Mm-hmm. So it's very important. There's communities that you have to know, like what happens when you run out of money, and will Medicare come in? So I also have an associate that actually, Lisa, that you know, that's her specialty, where I can say, okay, here's Lisa. She's going to help you find the perfect community for you.
Yes.
And then that's where I take care of the rest of the sale. But at least you're in good hands, because, you know, nowadays, let's face it, everyone's not going to leave their home unless they absolutely have to. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people are like, you're just going to have to take me out of here.
And that's okay. We have funds for that. That is okay.
Yeah, and that's how people are. So sometimes emergencies happen. And there is
getting so many roof calls. Roofs are like $30,000. Mm-hmm. You just don't pull that out of the air.
Exactly.
So we have discussions about that. Also, you mentioned Medicare, Medi-Cal. You have a specialist for that as well.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're in good hands. If you call any one of us, we'll be able to steer you in the right direction and guide you with all that. And just, again, ask questions, get some education about your plan and how it's going to affect everybody in your family.
Mm-hmm. So this event coming up is Tuesday, April 21st.
Mhm.
It's from 10 to 11:30 plus or minus to give time for Q&A. Check-in is at 9:45. It's at the True in Norco, right off of Hamner. And
that's spelled TRU.
TRU,
Yes.
yes. True by Hilton. So that's where we're going to have it. But it's just basically, I'm just starting. This is a brand new thing for me. So the first one I did was on the importance of Prop 19, if you want to take your tax rate with you, and also touched a little bit on reverse mortgage. This next one's going to be on finance and retirement and preparing. And the next one I have coming up will be on living trust and how important it is to stay out of probate, because I've helped people in probate and they're trying to cope with the loss of their loved one and then having to deal with this mess. It's horrible. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to start these, is to educate the community and be a resource. So when people come to me, I can say, got the good person, and they're trusted referrals to people that I trust, that I would trust my own family members with. Because that's how I used to take care of each of my patients. I would think, well, what if that was my family member, in that bed? So I think of the same way. If I give you a referral to somebody, it's because I trust these girls with my life. Or guys, sometimes guys. So that's where I got it started. After I met Lenae, I'm like, she is a wealth of knowledge. And I wish I met her too before, because I had to cash out my 401k, and boy, did I pay a big price in several ways. I'm really excited to hear what you got to say about that.
Yes.
So both of these ladies will be at True April 21, and you will have a link. We'll have a link here for you guys. It's on Eventbrite, correct?
It's on Eventbrite.
And it's on Eventbrite, and it's free.
Free.
So come and get some information, raise your hand, ask some questions. Lenae, you have anything to add?
No, there will be raffles. Yeah, that's always fun. And you know what, like Laura said, and Tiffany both mentioned, we are we're a team of resources for you. You're going to be in good hands. Like Tiffany said, you call any one of us, we will take your needs and take your questions seriously, and provide you with the best people that we can. Because in this time and age, having those resources, having a connector like Laura, having a connector like Tiffany was saying, hey, let's all together and do a little podcast, talk about what people need and how we can work together. I mean, in today's day and age, you can chat GBT or try to Google something, but you're only going to get information that you put in. It's going to spit back out at you. But you talk to someone like Tiffany, who's got years of experience and knowledge on how to utilize reverse mortgage, or Laura with being able to help your parents and help your older family condense and organize, and even being able to talk to me, who's going to make sure that you're planning smart to retire confidently. I mean, this is such a critical time and age, and we don't know what Social Security is going to be like. We don't know what taxes are going to be like, in the next 10, 20 years. And that's
true.
It's very scary. It could be a very scary situation.
Very scary. But if you have the right team, it alleviates a lot of that stress so that you can just enjoy your life. Yes. You work very hard for what you have. And to me, I work with 62 plus clients most of the time. So I just want them to live their best life. And if I can be a small part of helping them do that, please use me as a resource. You summarized all of our businesses very nicely. So any questions, we're all going to be listed on this podcast, and you're more than welcome to reach out. We will treat you like family.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Life, Money, and Community. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed and share it with someone in your world. And when the time is right, you can book a call with me. I'm here as a resource. Until next time.